Hello everybody and a happy holidays. I'm Thomas and welcome back to another playthrough video. This time I'm going to be playing some more Turing Machine. Love this game, so I figured I'd play a little bit more before the year is out. I'm definitely going to keep playing this game into next year. Today I'm just going to be playing some normal mode like before, but next year I'm definitely going to get more into the hard mode, the extreme and nightmare modes and all of that. So I figured I'd just do normal one more time before next year I'm going to really start pushing up the difficulty in this. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, I should note that they have a new site for the game. It's turingmachine.info. I will post the URL down in the description. It works pretty much the same, but it looks a heck of a lot nicer. So we'll go to play, solo, classic, standard. We'll start with 4 and generate. And I will go ahead and pop that up there in case anybody wants to try it themselves. All right, so here is the first problem all set up. I'm going to, of course, try to find any initial deductions before I even ask any questions. So let me go ahead and see if there are any initial deductions for this one. I might be wrong. I don't think there are any initial deductions in this first one. Kind of weird, but I'm not seeing any. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say there are none. And we'll just kind of move onwards and upwards to figure out the code. So which ones do I want to test first? Well, I like testing ones where I have lots of options. So like A and C are definitely gonna be my first go-tos. After that, probably D, and then use B as like the final kind of determiner. So unless there's anything in particular now, I'm gonna go ahead and test the classic 1, 2, 3. It's, you know, can't beat it, but it's a good code. So I'll test A first and see what that comes back with. So A comes back a check mark. I gave it a 1 and it came back a check, so triangle is less than 3. So over here, my first code was 1, 2, 3. A came back a check mark, so we know that triangle is less than 3. So I can mark off 4, 5, and if it's less than 3, it's not 3. Pretty good starting question. So let's go ahead and see, well, if triangle is less than 3, what is triangle and square? Is it, ooh, it's surprisingly not less than 6. I kind of figured it would be. So it's either gonna be equal to 6 or greater than 6. So that was question C, that came back at fail. So we know that triangle plus square is either going to equal 6 or triangle plus square is going to be greater than 6. And then finally, I wanted to go ahead and test question D to see what that leaves me with. And that comes back a fail. So I tested it with no pairs, came back a fail. So there's a pair somewhere in there. Don't know where, but there be a pair. So pair. And that's what we have to go off of after the first round. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test 1, 5, 3 and figure out C and then see if we can figure out B without having to ask B. So that's kind of my goal. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask C, is triangle and square 6? And surprisingly, it came back no. Triangle and square is not 6. Triangle plus square will be greater than 6. So I tested 1, 5, 3. That was C that I just tested. That failed. When I tested if they're equal to 6, so they weren't. So triangle plus square is greater than 6. So if it's greater than 6, we can start eliminating some stuff over here. So if like the max triangle can be is 2, that means if it has to be greater than 6, like there can't be 4, because if it was, that means triangle just has to be 5 then, right? Because if square was 4, that would be 6 or 5, and anything less would also just be less than 6. But if square is 5, then triangle would have to be 2, right? Because if it has to be greater than 6, it just has to be 2 and 5, right? I mean, there's no other answer, because if this is 1, that the max anything over here could be is 6. So that's 2. And if we know it's greater than 6, it can't be 6, so it can't be 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. So that means square is 5. So then unfortunately, we're gonna have to ask B, because the only thing we don't know is circle. We know that there's a pair. So either circle is gonna be 5 or circle is gonna be 2. And right now it's a 50-50 shot, because it could be 255 or 252. Both are valid until we ask B. There's no way for me to really deduce down from that, I don't think. So I'm just gonna have to go ahead and ask it, and possibly be at a loss. So with 153, are there more odds? It came back a check mark that there are more odds than evens. So B came back true. So more odds than evens. And knowing that if there's more odds, that means the other number has to be 5. So the total, the final combination, I think is 255. So let's go ahead and check that out on the website. So testing a code, they updated this whole screen, so it looks a lot nicer now. So I can go 255, verify, that's the correct code. Awesome. Did I beat the machine though? That's my main concern, is did I beat the machine? So got that like that. We asked B and then failed on C. Asked 5 questions, so I might have failed. We beat the machine. They also got it in 5. We tied, but in ties, I win. So that's a win. Let's go ahead and just get the next game going then. So I'll go to play. We'll do another classic, standard, solo, and we'll do 5 verifiers this time. So I will go ahead and hold this up so you can get a better look at that. All right, so here's the next problem all set up. So let's go ahead and try to find any initial deductions. I imagine there's got to be at least a few for this one. Okay, so there are some initial deductions. This one's a little bit weird. I might miss a few. Please let me know in the comments if I miss any. Feel free to yell at me. For A, I don't see any. For B, this is the one I'm kind of not for sure about. I don't think there are any for B. I was kind of thinking maybe like triangle couldn't equal circle because of the pair one here, but triangle could equal circle if they were all the same. So if it was, 2, 2, 2, well, that wouldn't be a pair. And you could even see here under the no pairs, there's a triple number. So I don't think just because if triangle equals circle, there has to be a pair, because then if those two could be the same and the other number could also be the same, there could be triples, and then this wouldn't matter. So I don't think there's initial deduction between B and D. Once again, please let me know if I am wrong. But I'm gonna go ahead and say no initial deductions, none for C. For D, of course, we got the classic no pair, because if there was a pair, then for card E, for the order, if there was a pair, then we would know it's no order. So there's no pair. And for E, it's going to be no order as well. Because if it was ascending or descending, this card would mess with stuff along with this card. If it was ascending, we would know the order, so it wouldn't really matter, triangle compared to circle. And if it was ascending, we would know there's no pair. So same with descending, same with these two cards. So basically for E, there's no order. I think that's it as far as initial deductions go. So let's go ahead and get going on trying to crack this code. When we go ahead and copy down, we got no pairs and no order. Good to know. Love the initial deductions. They help out so much. So unless I don't think I want to do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and start with 1, 2, 3. Because I want to test A, B, and probably C, because those are all the ones I don't know, and also they all have 3 options, so I just need to start narrowing down some stuff at this point. There's not really too much I can do, I don't think choice-wise, to really help narrow this down. So I'm gonna go with A. Is square less than 3? It gave me an X, so square is not less than 3. It's either gonna be equal to 3 or greater than 3. So we got 1, 2, 3 as my starting code. I asked A, with square being 2, and it came back false. So square either equals 3 or square is greater than 3. Let's see what's going on in B land here. Is triangle less than circle? It came back a false. So triangle is not less than circle. Triangle is either going to then equal circle or be greater than circle. So over here, B, so triangle is either going to equal circle or triangle will be greater than circle. And then finally, let's go ahead and test C, and then I'll start I haven't eliminated much over here yet, but let me just go through all of these real quick. C also came back a fail. Wow, I got 0 for 3 there. So triangle plus square will not be less than 6. Triangle plus square is either going to equal 6 or triangle plus square will be greater than 6. And that was C, and that was a false. So yeah, 0 for 3 in my first round of questioning, but that's okay. An answer, it still gets me further along as far as information goes. Obviously, a correct answer would have gotten me further along, but still got some good info. So we know that we know that square is either going to be equal to or greater than 3. So square will not be 2 or 1. We know that triangle cannot be less than circle. I don't know. We know there's no pair, but there still could be a triple number. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to make a fool of myself. I know triple numbers exist in this game. So I don't want to rule out, because I don't think any of these also completely invalidate a triple number being a possibility. You know, some cards will just like immediately like, no, if it was a triple number, no. But yeah, I don't know for sure. I think that's all I can eliminate. I was going to eliminate triangle being 1. I don't know if I can eliminate that yet. So I'm just going to hold on and ask some more questions, I guess, because I don't know what else to do. So I'll go with the classic 4, 3, 2. So first, I'm just going to go right down the line again. And I'll start with actually, no, I lied. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start with C and then go with B and then A. So C first is triangle and square greater than 6, and it is. It came back a check mark. So I went in with 4, 3, 2. I asked C, saying C came back true. So triangle plus square will be greater than 6. Good to know. Fantastic. Well, if that's the case, if it's going to be greater than 6, then that means that yeah, triangle definitely can't be 1. Triangle definitely can't be 2. And triangle can't be 3. I take that back. Triangle just can't be 1, right? Because if triangle was 1 and that would only be 6. But triangle could still be 2, because that could be 5, and then we'd be at 7. So okay, yeah, I was trying to eliminate too much before. So triangle only can't be 1 after that. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what's going on with triangle and circle. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to come back true. Okay, it does. So no triple numbers, thank goodness. Triangle is greater than circle. So that was B. B came back a big old check mark. So we know triangle is greater than circle. So that means that triangle is greater than circle. Sure, that means circle can't be 5. I think that's all it eliminates so far. Cool. That does not eliminate hard. How am I supposed to know what circle is? Oh, I guess I would need to know what square is, so I know what C is, so I know what circle is, obviously. Duh. Okay, so let me go ahead and just ask A, because I don't think there's really anything I could do around it. Let me try to just see real quick what's going on, because there's only 2 possibilities. Either square is going to be 3, square is going to be greater than 3. Square is 3. What would be greater than 6? So if that was 3, I could be 4 or 5. So if square was equal to 3, the only things triangle could be would be 4 or 5. But triangle couldn't be 4, because if it was 4, then we'd have to go 4 or 3. We can't be 2 or 1. We can't go 3 again, because we know, oh, that would work, wouldn't it? Well, no, we know there's no pairs. So it'd have to go 4, 3, 4. That wouldn't work. So it'd have to be 5, 3, 4. So if square was equal to 3, there's only one solution that works, which is 5, 3, 4. If it was like 4, then we could go 3, 4, 2. Would that be valid? That would be valid. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. Would that also be valid? Because there's no order, no pair. Greater than that. That sum is greater than 6. So you could go 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 1. I think all of those are valid. Am I wrong? Because as long as triangle is greater than circle, those add up to 7. There's no pairs and no order. So I think square has to be 3. I don't think I need to ask it, because I think if square is greater than 3, if it came back and told me square is greater than 3, there would be a lot of valid options then, right? Because 3, 4, 2 would be valid. 3, 4, 1 would be valid. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 1, I think would all be valid if square was equal to more than 3. So I'm gonna go out on a limb, not even ask A, say I know the answer, I know better. I'm gonna go with square is equal to 3. Because if square is equal to 3, then it can't be, triangle can't be 2 or 3. So that means it has to be 4 or 5. But if we're gonna keep the no order, it can't go like descending. So that means, you know, circle really can't be like a 3, a 2, or a 1. So we got to kind of bounce back and forth. You know, it's no order. I can't go 4, 3, 4 because there would be a pair. So I have to go 5, 3, 4 is the final answer, is what I'm saying. I feel pretty confident in that. We went one question over, so I don't know for sure if I will beat the machine, but let's go ahead and find out. So test a code. I am pretty confident in my 5, 3, 4. Verified, that is the correct code. Awesome. And then let's see if I beat the machine though. So first round was pretty scuffed. We'll see how the next round goes with a check mark and a check mark. Did I beat the machine? I did. I beat him by one question. So there we go. So let's go ahead and do one more game. Do Solo Classic Standard, 6 verifiers. And I'll go ahead and set this up. Okay, got everything set up here, so let's go ahead and see if there's any initial deductions. But yeah, with 6 verifiers, I imagine there's going to be some. Okay, there seems to be kind of a lot of initial deductions for this one. So once again, let me know in the comments if I missed any or if I got any wrong, please let me know. A, I think can't equal 3, because if A were to equal 3, this card would be irrelevant because you know what number it is. It's 3, which is odd, so you don't need to know if it's odd or even. Also, if it's 3, I don't really think that directly interferes with this one, only kind of, but doesn't. It's mainly this one. So yeah, triangle cannot equal 3. So that's my first initial deduction. For B, I'm going to go with, I don't think there are any. If triangle is odd, we wouldn't really know this. It wouldn't really help down here. Triangle is even. Yeah, I don't think there are any for B. For C though, I think there can't be 2 3s, because if there was 2 3s, there'd be a double. That would also mess with F with the order. And if there were 3 3s, it mess with, I think, every single card. It would mess with this because we know it's 3. We would mess with this because we know it's odd. We would mess with this because we know the sum is odd. We know mess with this because we know there's a triple number. We mess with this because we know there's no order. So it absolutely cannot be triple 3s. Double 3s, it's not a possibility as well either. So there's only going to be 0 or just a singular 3 in this code. For D, I don't think there's anything. E, of course, no repetition. If there was a double number, that would mess up the order. And if there was, you know, a triple number, that could mess up some other stuff. Probably the 3s it might interfere with as well. But mainly E and F kind of conflict with each other, so there's not going to be any rep. And of course, no order. Because if it was ascending, we would know there's no double or triple number. If it's descending, no double or triple number. So no order. And I think that's all we have as far as initial deductions go. Once again, if I missed any or messed up, let me know. So I'll start out by just writing in my no rep down here and the no order, just to make sure I have that all locked in and remembered. And I'll just go ahead and start with a 1, a 2, and a 3. And we'll go from there. I'll probably just start, well, that one only has 2 options. This has 2 options. Everything pretty much has 2 options. So I'll go with this first. I came back a check mark, so triangle is less than 3. So that's a good start. 1, 2, 3, A came back a check. Triangle is less than 3. So triangle is not 3, it's not 4, it's not 5. I could ask if triangle is odd or even, but at this point it's either gonna tell me if it's 2 or 1, and I don't think that's the most valuable information at this moment. I think I'd rather ask C or D and then maybe come back to B if need be. So C tells me that yes, there is exactly a singular 1, 3. So that was C. C came back a check mark, so there is one number 3 floating around in the code somewhere. That's not triangle, because triangle can't be 3, it's gonna be less than 3. So we know square or circle is going to be 3. One of those 2, don't know which one, but it's good to know. So then finally, let's go see what D has to say for itself. We're giving it a sum of even. It came back a fail, so sum is odd. D came back a fail, so the sum equals odd. Interesting. At this point, I mean, I could go ahead and ask B, and I know I'm fine, but let's see if I can figure it out without asking B. Okay, so I'm glad I haven't asked it yet, because I think I'm already starting to see some idea of what the code is. because, okay, I'm trying to figure out like which one of these two are gonna be 3. Is it gonna be square or is it gonna be circle? So let's just say it's square. Square is 3 now, great. So we know it's no order. So that means if triangle is gonna be 2 or 1 and square is kind of 3, like in the middle there, circle couldn't be 4 or 5. So if triangle is gonna be 1 or 2, that means circle has to be 1 or 2. So if square is 3, let's say the only combination it's gonna be 2, 3, 1. Or you could be 1, 3, 2. Either way, but the numbers are gonna be 1, a 2, and a 3. What does that add up to? That adds up to 6. And the sum is even. That sum is even. This sum that we need is odd. So I'm gonna go with, there's no way square could possibly be 3. So we're gonna say that circle is 3 and eliminate everything else. So I think I have to ask B, because kind of what I'm thinking is I mean, I can ask one more question, still be safe. And I think it's pretty much a 50-50 with, it could either be like 2, 4, 3 or 1, 5, 3. I need to know which one of those two it is. So this will tell me. I'm giving it triangle is odd and it came back a fail. So that means triangle is even. So if triangle is even, let me go ahead and mark this down. So that was what B came back a fail, triangle is even, which means triangle is 2, which also means, you know, square can't be 2. Square could be 1, but then it would be 2, 1, 3, which is an even sum, so we can't have that. Can't be 2, 3, 3, because there would be a repetition, so it's either 2, 4, 3 or 2, 5, 3. If it was 2, 5, 3, you'd have another even. So we can't have that. We gotta have 2, 4, 3, which would give us a sum of 9. Triangle is less than 2, triangle is even. We got a single 3, the sum is odd, no repetition, no order. I think we're good. So let's go ahead and see. Tested code 243. That's the right code. So then let's see if I beat the machine. Though I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna tell you already, spoiler alert, I did, because I've never seen the machine get it in less than 4. So let's see if they had a miracle on their side this time. Did I beat the machine? No, I did beat the machine. They lost. They got it in 6 questions. I got it in 4. So there you go. That's gonna do it for today's video. I had a lot of fun playing Turing Machine. I really like this game a lot. I'm definitely gonna try out some of the harder difficulties and extra modes into next year, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you wanna see some of my recent videos, click up there in the top right corner of the screen.